What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Game Day with Trey. This is your host, Trey. And today we're going to go over today's NBA slate. Of course, you know we cashed last night. Had a great night. Went 4-1 on the picks we gave out. And at least as far as what I said I was actually going to play or what I felt like playing. Leans actually looked good last night too, but I'm not going to waste any time. Let's go ahead and get into it. First game tonight, we have for April 4th, Thursday night, starting at 7:30, is Philadelphia 76ers visiting the Miami Heat. All right, and right now this line is set at Miami -3. Over under opened at 209.5. Opened at 210, and now it's down to 209.5. All right, as far as the injury reports concerned on these two teams, we all know Joel Embiid came back the other night, but he still is questionable. Tobias Harris will be questionable. Mo Bamba, questionable. And Tyrese Maxey is questionable, even though he's missed the last 2 games with left hip tightness. For Miami, you do have Tyler Hero out, and Josh Richardson will be out. All right, now as far as the matchup is concerned between these two teams and what's been going on as of late, you got the Philadelphia 76ers recently lost to the Cavs while beating the Raptors and the Thunder. All right, the Philadelphia 76ers are averaging 114.3 points on 46.4% shooting and allowing 112.1 points on 47.2% shooting. All right, now as far as Miami is concerned, Miami Heat are coming off wins over the Wizards, Trailblazers, and Knicks. The Miami Heat are averaging 109.9 points on 46.4% shooting and allowing 108.4 points on 46.9% shooting. All right, so let's look at what's been happening as far as last time head-to-head, how these two teams been matching up, man. All right, so head-to-head, these teams, Miami has the series 6-4. They did play, 3 times this season so far. Philadelphia won the last one 98-91 back on March 18th. Philly did cover the 3, and it went under. All right, as far as against the spread, Miami also leads this series against the spread in the last 10, 6-4. And then as far as over-under is concerned, we're looking at 3 to the over, 7 to the under in the last 10 times that these two teams have met up. All right, so these two teams, they battle every single time they see each other. It's a battle. All right, it's not something that's ever taken lightly because, especially since they are fighting for playoff seeding and positioning right now. You have to remember, Miami's sitting in the 6th seed right now, and Philadelphia's way down in the 8th seed. But there's only one game virtually separating them because Miami's 42-33 and Philly's 41-35. So it's not that big of a distance in the East right now between who's in the play-in and who's not in the play-in. And Philly, they should be trying to duck that play-in. All right, now in the last 10 games that Philly's played, they're 5-5 straight up, 8-2 against the spread, and 4 to the over, 6 to the under. All right, in the last 10. So they've also been trending to the under. They've been playing a little bit better defense, even though Tyrese Maxey has been out and Joel Embiid has been out and just now came back. So this team has been playing some unders. And then when you look to Miami, they're on kind of a heater. They're 7-3 in the last 10. Now, as far as against the spread, though, they're 5-4-1. All right, and they're 5 to the over, 5 to the under. So when you talk about these two teams, you're talking about not only are they two teams that can play defense, but they're two teams that have been successful over the last couple weeks and games that they've been playing. When you're looking at the stat split, man, in the last 3 games, you got Philly averaging 119.3 points per game and only giving up 114. Whereas Miami is averaging 123.3 points per game and giving up 96. Now, when you're looking like the last 3 games, Miami's played New York, Washington, and Portland. So that's why those numbers and that points average looks like that. Whereas when you're talking about Philly, they've played OKC, Toronto, and Cleveland. All right, so that gives you a better understanding of why those stat splits kind of look like that. Now, situationally, as home favorites, all right, the Miami Heat are 14-14 against the spread, whereas Philadelphia, as away underdog, is 11-10. All right, now when you're looking over under, a home favorite for Miami, they're 14-14. I mean, you really can't get nothing there. And then as an away underdog, Philly is 9-12 to the under. So for this game, I can only look under. That's why the line is going down. If I do end up playing it, it will be the under in this game. All right, so next game on the slate, we got Atlanta at the Dallas Mavericks. This game starts at 7:30. It's got Dallas giving up 12. Over under is 227. The line opened up at Dallas giving up 11, and over under was 230. And then right now it's down to 228, and Dallas giving up 12. So there has been some movement on the line when you're looking at these two teams. When you're talking about what's been going on actually out there on the court and who's going to be out there, DeJounte Murray will be playing in this game. Of course, we know the rest of the hit squad is out for Atlanta, or Okongwu, Trae Young, Sadiq Bey, Griffin, all of them. But what we do need to be concerned with in this game is the fact that Derek Lively will be questionable. He missed the last game with right knee soreness and is uncertain if he will suit up for Thursday's game. All right. The Atlanta Hawks recently beat the Pistons and Bulls while losing to the Bucks. The Atlanta Hawks are averaging 119.1 points on 46.7% shooting and allowing 120.3 points on 49.3% shooting. Whereas Dallas Mavericks recently beat the Kings and Rockets while losing to the Warriors. And they got the Warriors up next on deck. All right, now the Dallas Mavericks are averaging 118.5 points on 48.3% shooting and allowing 116.1 points on 47.6% shooting. All right, so let's go ahead and look what these two teams have been doing head to head. When you look at these two teams head to head, and in the matchup, the last 10 times they played, it's straight up 6-4, leaning to Dallas's way. So Dallas has won 6 out of the last 4 times they played, but against the spread, they're split even, 5-5. All right, now when you look at over-unders, the same way, split even, 5-5, man. So these two teams really do play each other pretty hard. All right, the last time they played was January 26th in Atlanta, and Dallas won 148-143. All right, so and Dallas covered the 2 points in that game as well. When you look at the last 10 games, Atlanta is 7-3 straight up. So they are playing a little bit better right now. And then when you look against the spread, they're 6-4. And the trend for over-unders, they're 8 to the over, 10 to the under in the last 10 games that they've been playing. So they've been running and gunning. But then when you look at Dallas, it's polar opposite. Now they are 8-2 straight up in the last 10 and 8-2 against the spread. So they are on fire right now. And then as far as over under, there's 2 to the over and 8 to the under. So they've been really winning it with defense in these last games. And I would expect that trend to continue. All right. So when you're looking at what these two teams have been doing situationally against the spread as a home favorite, all right, Dallas is 12-12, and as an away underdog, Atlanta is 9-14 against the spread. All right, so when you're looking over at towards the over under on home favorite, you got 10 to the over, 14 to the under, and with Atlanta as an away underdog, it's 12 to the over, 11 to the under. All right, now let's take a look at these stat splits real quick. These two teams, over the last 3 games, Atlanta's averaging 115.7 points per game, giving up 112 points per game, whereas Dallas is averaging 110 and giving up 104.7. So, but remember, the last 3 games they played, Atlanta's played Detroit, Chicago, and Milwaukee, And Dallas has had a murderer's row. Sacramento, Houston, and Golden State, all teams that are pushing to try to stay out of the play-in. Remember, right now in the Western Conference, Dallas is ranked 5th at 45-30. And the teams that they've been playing, that Sacramento team, they're right down there in 8th, only behind them by 1 game, separating them. So this means that this game is very important for the Dallas Mavericks. But you also got to remember, they got Golden State on deck, all right? And 12 points is a lot of points. These two teams have played each other close the last time they did play each other this season. So as far as some team facts, all right, the Mavericks have won each of their last 10 night games against teams that held a losing record. The Mavericks have failed to cover the spread in each of their 12 last home games against Eastern Conference opponents that held a losing record. So watch out for that backdoor cover. And 8 of the Mavericks' last 9 home games have gone under the total points line. Whereas with Atlanta's lost each of their last 6 road games when playing with a rest disadvantage. The Hawks have failed to cover the spread in 9 of their last 10 games against opponents who are on the first leg of a back-to-back. And 8 of the Hawks' last 9 games against opponents who are on the first leg of a back-to-back have gone over the total points. I'm going to be honest with you guys. All right, on this one, my lean is towards the under. I know it feels like an over game, but my lean would be towards the under. And probably Atlanta, all right, on a backdoor cover. Once again, Dallas is going to be looking ahead to Golden State. It's very important that they get that get back for that Golden State loss they took the other day, man. You know, they take these things personally, and when you do look at the standings right now, all right, Golden State is in the 10th spot in the play-in, so they're only 3 games over Houston, so they can stay in the play-in, but at the end of the day, they need to make some ground up if they don't want to be in that 10th spot, because they're behind LA by 3 games right now. All right, so you know, we shall see what happens in this game. But like I said, my lean is Atlanta and the under in this game. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it to the window on that, but most likely leaning that way. If I was going to play it, that would be what direction I would be going. All right, so next up, we have the Sacramento Kings at the New York Knicks. Okay. Sacramento Kings and the New York Knicks line opened at over under 214.5. New York -3. And right now it's dropped to 214 at the over under. And the spread has kind of gone up at New York -3.5 right now. All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at the injury report for these two teams. When you're talking about New York, we already know OG Anunoby is out. Mitchell Robinson will be questionable. Josh Hart will be questionable. Both big cogs, and Julius Randle is out. For Sacramento, we already know that Malik Monk is out, and Kevin Huerter is also going to be out, you guys. So that's kind of major for them right now. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, Malik Monk was kind of playing good. I mean, more than good. He was kind of playing great right now. He was trying to make moves to get to that 6th Man of the Year award. All right, so let's look at Sacramento now. Sacramento Kings have been in a real funk as they've lost 6 of their last 9 games overall, and they will be aiming for a 3rd straight win after routing the Clippers in a 109-95 home win on Tuesday. All right, now with the Knicks, meanwhile, the Knicks have been in great form as they've won 7 of their last 11 games overall, but they will be hoping to put an end to that 3-game slide after getting beaten by the Heat in Miami, 109-99 road defeat on Tuesday. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on with these situations right now. So in the last 10 games, these two teams, that when they match up head to head, it leans 6-4 to New York. So New York's won 6 of the last 10 that these two teams have matched up. They have played this year. They were in Sacramento. New York won 98-91. New York covered the 3 points that they were getting, and it went under the 217.5. Now against the spread, it was 4-6, so it leans to New York again in this as far as 6-4 ATS against the Kings in the last 10. And then when you look over under, it's gone 2 over and 8 under. So this series it's been an under series, man. And we're talking about a Sacramento team that gets out and runs. So that lets you know something right there. Even though they have been playing a lot better defense and they've been playing at a lot slower pace as of late. All right, but they're known to be a team that's going to get out there and run and gun. All right, so in the last 10 games that Sacramento has played, they're 6-4. They're 5-5 ATS. They're 2 to the over, 8 to the under. So once again, another trending to the under. Then when you go with the Knicks are 6-4 straight up, 6-3-1 ATS, and 7 to the over, 3 to the under. So the Knicks have been playing a lot faster as of late, but then you got to look at the teams that they played, man. Like there's been OKC puts up 110, 112 points every time they get out there. They gave up some points to Miami. They lost that game. They lost to San Antonio. Like these are the last 3 games for them. So New York is really going to be trying to make a statement in this game. All right, they got to get back to their winning ways. Because when you're looking at the standings, I keep coming back to this, you guys. The New York Knicks are in the number 5 spot. They're only 2 games over the Heat. All right, so they need this. And then Sacramento, they're in the 8th slot over in the West. So, and they're only 1 game back from the 7th slot. So they can kind of catch the Pellies if they are able to do something and pull something out tonight. All right, now when you're looking ATS in this situation, you're talking about as a away underdog, Sacramento is 13-7 against the spread versus New York Knicks as a home favorite is 16-11, man. So yeah, you gotta understand that Sacramento is going to be trying to win this game too because they got to go to Boston next, and that's going to be an L. All right, but the Knicks, they got to try to get a W too. So this is really going to be a tough game. It's really a tough game, man. What I can tell you is I'm definitely feeling that under on this game, and I'm feeling. I think I'm feeling Sacramento, man. You know, I think they are really gonna fight. I think they match up well with the Knicks, and what Sacramento tries to do. I think that plays into the favor of this game. When you're looking over unders though, all right, as a home favorite, Knicks are 9 to the over, 18 to the under. And then as an away underdog, Sacramento is 7 to the over, 12 to the under, and 1 push. So like I said, definitely lock in that under. I also think I'll probably be leaning towards Sacramento in this game. Yeah, that's probably the way it's going to end up looking. So let's go to the last game on the slate. Oh, I'm sorry. We got 2 more games, you guys. 2 more games. All right, so let's go to the next game on the slate. We got Golden State Warriors visiting the Houston Rockets. This game starts at 8 o'clock. The line opened at over under 227. Houston +4. Now it's at over under 228. And Houston +3.5. So the line there has been some slight movement in the line. All right. When you're talking about these 2 teams, you're talking about teams that really are fighting for playoff standing. I keep coming back to it. It comes back to the playoff standing right now. This is time for some playoff basketball. Golden State's in the 10th slot. All right. Houston, they are in the 11th slot. They are 3 games back from Golden State. This is win or go home time right now for them. If they do not pull out this win and they can't beat Golden State right now, it's a problem. It's over for them. They might as well cash it in the rest of the season and start resting some players and try to get something planned for the next season they got coming up, which is vacation. All right. So when you're talking about this Houston Golden State matchup, man, okay, the Golden State Warriors have been in great shape as they are now looking to build on their 5-game win streak after taking down the Mavericks in a 104-100 win on Tuesday. All right, and whereas meanwhile Houston Rockets look to have cooled off from their 11-game win streak as they are now hoping to avoid their 3rd straight defeat after falling short to the Timberwolves in a 113-106 road defeat on Tuesday. All right, so when you're talking about the matchup and how these 2 teams have looked in the last 10 games head to head, Golden State's 10-0 against straight up against Houston. And then against the spread, they are 6-3-1. All right, and then as far as over/under is concerned, it's 3 to the over, 7 to the under. The last 10 times these teams have played. These teams have played 2 times already this season, and Golden State, yeah, won those, of course, like I said. But Houston did cover the last one back in November, if that means anything. All right, so now the last 10 times or the last 10 games out there, Golden State is 7-3. They are 6-4 against the spread and 5 to the over, 5 to the under. Whereas Houston is 8-2 in their last 10, 8-2 against the spread and 8 to the over, 10 to the under. All right, but like I said, this series does lean to the under, and it, even though it went over this number of 221 earlier this year, okay, when they did play. We're talking playoff basketball. I keep coming back to it. It's playoff basketball right now, guys. So it's going to be a little bit different than what you're accustomed to seeing. All right. We do know in the injury report, because I did skip over that, Jonathan Kuminga is questionable. Gary Payton is probable. Dario Saric is probable. Of course, we know Sengun, Eason, and Steven Adams are all out for Houston. All right, so if you're looking at the stat splits right now, in the last 3 games, Golden State's averaging 112 points per game, giving up 103.3, whereas Houston is scoring 104.7 and giving up 112.7 points per game. Situationally, against the spread as an away favorite, Golden State is 13-5, whereas Houston as a home underdog is 12-6 against the spread. All right, so yeah, definitely there's gonna be some good basketball right here. And then over under as an away favorite, Golden State's 5 to the over, 13 to the under, and Houston as a home underdog is 8 to the over, 9 to the under with 1 push. So my play for this game would definitely most likely be Golden State and the under. I like Golden State tonight. I think they're going to do what they need to do to put some more space between them and Houston and to try to catch the Lakers. Now, I'm not saying they're going to catch the Lakers, but they at least going to try. All right. So let's go ahead and pull up on this last and final game. We have the LA Clippers. We have Denver visiting the LA Clippers. This game starts at 10 o'clock. The line opened at over under 218.5 points. Clippers plus 3.5. Right now, it has gone up to over under of 221.5 or 221.5 points, and then Clippers plus 4. So it's leaning in Denver's direction. All right. So when you're talking about these two teams, there's a few things that you always got to mention, and that is injuries. All right, because you talk about a Kawhi Leonard team and a team that's been missing Jamal Murray. So let's go ahead and look at Denver. You got Aaron Gordon is going to be probable. Nikola Jokic is going to be probable. But Jamal Murray still out, sidelined with right knee inflammation. And then when you look to the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard out. Joshua Primo out. All right, so like I said, you always got to be looking at the injury reports when you're talking about these two teams. Denver is trying to get healthy before the playoffs, and the Clippers are trying to kind of, solidify themselves in the standings right now. Because, once again, let's come back to the playoffs. Then how are they looking? They're in the 4th slot. They're only up 2 games on Dallas Mavericks right now, so they need to win this game. Just so they can keep some cushion between them and the Mavericks. And then when you're talking about Denver's locked in 53-23. They're locked in at where they want to be, but they also want to make sure they go into this thing healthy. All right, because health can really make or break where you're going to make it at in the playoffs. You know what I mean? This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. Okay, now when you're going ahead and you look at these two teams, you are talking about 2 teams that not only battle injuries, but have had some battles between each other. So the Denver Nuggets have been in great form as they've won 11 of their last 14 games overall, and they will be eager to keep it up going after sneaking past the Spurs in a 110-105 win on Tuesday. All right. Now, meanwhile, the Los Angeles Clippers have been in decent shape as they've won 5 of the last 8 games overall, but they will be hoping to bounce back here after having their 3-game win streak halted by the Kings in a 109-95 road loss on Tuesday, you guys. All right. So, in the last 10 times these teams played, it is 8-2 straight up. Denver, they won 8. They are 8-2 straight up in the last 10 against this team. 6-4 against the spread in the last 10 against the Clippers, and 3 to the over, 7 to the under. So this series is an under trend. They have played this season twice already. 3 times already. Last time they played was back in December. Clippers won 111-102. Clippers covered the 1.5, and it went under the 229.5. In the last 10 games, Denver is 7-3. All right, straight up. They're 4-6 against the spread, so they don't cover. Like I kind of told you the other day, a lot of times when it's a big spread, smaller spreads they cover, but large spreads they usually don't. And then the over/under is 5-5. Whereas the Clippers are 5-5 in the last 10, 2-8 against the spread, and 6 to the over, 4 to the under. All right, so on such a small line like this, while missing Jamal Murray, this really is a tough game to look at. I do have some play on it though, but let me get you these stat splits real quick, man. So in the last 3 games, Denver has scored 112.7 points per game, gave up 105.7. The Clippers they're scoring 108.3 and they're giving up 108. So it's not anything that's especially it's not anything that you want to write home about, man. When you're playing like that, that's just not good basketball, man. Not at all. So situationally, when Denver is away favorite, they're 11-16 against the spread, 11-16-1, and the Clippers as a home underdog are 0-2 against the spread. So I can only look towards Denver in this one, you guys, especially giving up such a short number. I hope y'all got in at 3.5. I did last night, but it's going up, as you can see, to the 4. But I can only go with Denver in this game. Now, when you're looking at the over/under, when you're away favorite for Denver, 11 over, 17 to the under. And as a home underdog, the Clippers have gone over the 2 times that they were a home underdog. So, like I said, my lean on this game is Denver. Minus 3.5, minus the 4, whichever one you want to do. Now, I'm not too sure about the over/under on this, but, I'll leave that up to you guys. Well, I hope all this information helps y'all. Hope everything goes well tonight for y'all at the window. I know it went not well for me last night, and it's going to go well for me today, because that's just how it does, man. If you made it this far, please comment, made it. You know what I mean? We did that. Cash it. Window. Whatever you want to put, man. Matter of fact, just put, meet me at the window, man. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe. I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.